I'm going to show you how to make a bracelet to match the sculpted crystal necklace we did in the last tutorial. So here is the necklace. I've made two bracelets because I have made them two different lengths and I have clasped both of them a little differently. But here is the necklace that I made and here is the bracelet. I think they're a really nice little match. So I'm going to show you close up what these units look like. I just have the crystal kind of sculpting and looping. Looks like it kind of loops around the other crystals. So I think that it turned out really pretty. This one I did with a magnetic clasp and I made it exactly 7 inches long. This one I did with a lobster claw clasp and a closed jump ring, like so. And both of them are good. This one turned out to be 8 inches long with my clasping and the fact that I did 17 units in this one and I did 15 units in this one. This one was too big for me, so I decided to make another one. And I wanted to clasp it differently because I really didn't like the way I clasped this one. So I made it this way, but either way will work. And they both are just as pretty as each other. This is an 8-inch and this is a 7-inch. Let me show you what they look like. Let's go ahead and look and see what it takes to make this particular bracelet. Okay, for this project today, we will be using 8/0, 11/0, and 15/0 seed beads. These are all Toho. This is a metallic golden bronze. These two are both galvanized aluminum permanent finish silver tone. And then you will be using 2 colors of 4mm bicone crystals. These are both Swarovski. This one's ruby. This one is clear. We will also be using 2 wire protectors. And wire protectors are little loops like so that have little holes on either side and a divot in the top of the loop so that you can sew through it and protect your thread. We'll be using 2 of those. For my clasping, I'm going to use a magnetic clasp, a nice strong rhinestone magnetic clasp. If you do not want to use a magnetic clasp, then you will need to have a closed, or it can be an open jump ring too. Just make sure it's a heavy gauge, closes securely for you, and a lobster claw clasp. And instead of putting your magnetic clasp through the loops of the wire protector, when I make my bracelet, you will put your jump ring and your lobster claw clasp on. Then you will want to have some thread, of course, and I'm going to use 10-pound nanofill in the crystal color, or clear mist actually, and I am going to be using a size 12 beading needle. You can also use a size 10. 12 just happens to go through my 15/0s better, so that's what I'm going to use. Now, thread onto your needle a nice long length of thread, at least a wingspan, and or a yard, and we'll get started. Know that you will need to extend your fire line during this project. Okay, to start this project, we will be using our 8/0 and 11/0 seed beads. Now, we're going to pick up 6 8/0 seed beads onto our needle, just like in the necklace. However, in this particular project, we are going to change just a few things about our main components. So go up through the first 8/0 seed bead that you've put on your thread and make a circle. Go ahead and sew all the way around all the beads until you get back to where your working thread and your tail thread cross. So this right here, pull it into a circle, is where my threads will cross. So now I am going to go into one more 8/0 seed bead and pull. and I'll pull my tail thread and make a circle like so. Now, we're going to place 11-0 seed beads between each 8-0 seed bead on our circle. So pick up an 11-0 and go into the next 8-0. Just hold your finger and your thumb over the circle of 8-0s and pop the 11-0 down in between them, so it's nice and secure. And do this all the way around the circle. Just picking up 11-0 seed beads and popping them into place, just like we did in the necklace component. When you get to the last one, right where your tail is, go ahead and pick up your 11-0, go through the 8-0 and the 8-0 behind that 8-0, skipping the 11-0 between them. So just go through both the 8-0s. This will secure the piece. Pull your 11-0 seed bead in tight, pop it down in there, and just tag on both your tail and your working thread a little bit. And this is what you should have right here. Now we're going to sew through the 11-0 seed bead and pull your thread tight. This is what you should have. Now, in our necklace tutorial, we attached the crystal embellishment to 8-0 seed beads. In this one, we are going to attach the embellishment to the 8-0 or the 11-0s, excuse me, directly in the middle of the component here. So right here and right here is where we will be attaching. We're coming out of this side. We're going to pick up a 15-0 seed bead, and I'm going to use one of my red bicone crystals and a 15-0 seed bead. Oops, get those on there. That's what you should have. You're coming out of this side of this 11-0 seed bead. We're going to go into the opposite side, or excuse me, the same side on the opposite 11-0 in your unit, and just gently pull these beads over the top of the circle, like so. At this point, it's kind of hard to hang on to, so if I look a little clumsy, I apologize. Now pick up another 15-0 seed bead and go back through the crystal, and just the crystal, and pull. Make sure that they do not cross, that they lay there nice next to each other like so. A little closer so you can see, like so. Now I'm coming out of the bicone crystal here. I started in this side of the 11-0. I'm going to go into this side after picking up a 15-0 seed bead, and I'll go into this side of this 11-0 right here. And pull. Pop it down there nice and tight, and this is what you should have. Now, like I said in the beginning, the difference of this particular project from the necklace is where we attach our bicone crystal on the top, and it's also going to be where we attach our right angle weave units to the component to be the connection for the next units. So in this one, we're just going to go directly into the next 11-0 seed bead. So go through the 8-0 and exit the next 11-0. And we're going to go ahead and pick up 3 11-0 seed beads. And we are going to sew them through, pull them through, and sew back through all 3 of them, so that we will have our connection right here on the edge. For this first one, we will attach 2 of these units, and I will show you where we're going to put the second one. And then from each one forward, we'll be attaching 1. So what I have done is I've sewn through this entire unit, and then I came through the 8/0 and the 11/0 here. We have to work our way all the way up to this 11/0 in the corner here. So we'll have a right angle unit here, an 11/0 seed bead, and a right angle unit here on the top of our circle. So let's go through the circle. You can sew through just the 8/0 seed beads, which will secure it better. So I'm skipping my 11/0. If you'd like to sew through the 11/0s, you can. I just find that doing just the 8/0 secures my unit and makes it tighter. So I'm just going through, skipping the 11/0 seed beads and sewing through the original 8/0s in my circle. Make sure I don't have my tail there. And like I said, this is hard to hold on to, guys, so I apologize for being clumsy. Now I've gone too far, so I need to go back out of this 8/0 seed bead here and just go through this 11/0. So, boy, I'm really fumbling. Sorry, guys. All right, so here I am. I've sewn all the way around and come out of this 11/0 right here. Now I'm going to pick up 3 11/0 seed beads and make another unit of right angle weave right on this 11/0. And sew back through it. Once I get back to the bead that I am connecting to, I will then sew through the 8/0, the 11/0, and the 8/0 here on the top of the unit. Let's get you close. So I'm coming out of this 11/0, I'm going to go through the 8/0 and then the 11/0 behind it in my original circle, and then the 8/0 and the 11/0 that my little unit of right angle weave is attached to. So I'm coming out of this 11/0 here and pull. Now this is where we will start making our actual bracelet. So what we're going to do, this is just this side we had prepared so that we could do our second embellishment, and you'll see why. But at this point we're going to be working this direction. So now I'm going to sew up. I'm coming out of this 11/0, I'm going to sew up into the side 11/0, and then I'm going to sew up into the top 11/0. Now what's going to happen here is we are going to make units that are going to go up and down, up and down. So we are connecting from 2 sides here so that we can establish that we will be, the next one will be up, and then we will work out of the bottom units of that one, and that one will make it down for the next unit. And I'll show you what I mean. So here we're going to pick up 6 8/0 seed beads onto our needle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to drop them down like so. We back off just a little bit. And then we are going to go back through the opposite side of the 11/0 we're coming out of right here. Pull it down. Then go up into the next 8/0 seed bead right next to the 11/0 you're coming out of. And pull. My thread is so long I keep getting caught. There we go. Now we're going to pick up an 11/0 seed bead, and we're going to do the same thing we did on this unit. We're going to put 11/0 between each 8/0 seed bead. So go into the next grab some 11/0s. That's an 8/0. And go into each one. Now, when you put your last 11/0 seed bead in, you are going to go into the 8/0, skip the 11/0 you're attaching to, and then go into the 8/0 past that. And on these units now, after you have come out of the connection 11/0 and the 8/0 here, the very next 11/0 next to the connection 11/0 is where we will start to put on our bicone crystal embellishment. So always remember, it'll be the 11/0 next to the 11/0 that we are attached to. And we'll do that in each unit. So go into this 11/0 right here. Pull your thread tight, make sure your unit looks good. If your unit does not look good, sew back through it one more time, just going through the 8/0 seed beads and securing it. Now, let's pick up a 15/0 seed bead, a bicone crystal, and a 15/0 seed bead. You're coming out of this side of the 11/0, we're going to go into the opposite side of the opposite 11/0 seed bead. So, into here, I'm going to put my thumb and my finger together and just hold this so that I can guide my crystal on top and give it a nice tug. And then I'm going to pick up a 15/0 seed bead, go into the crystal, put my thumb and my finger together, hold that, pull my thread through nice and gently, and give it a nice little tug. And again, a 15/0 seed bead, and go into the opposite side you started in, on the 11/0 that we're attaching to. Like so. You have a nice little embellishment. Now, you're going to want to look at your piece here. This is where we started our attachment, right here. And we want this bead to be higher than this bead. So we want to attach in the bottom of this circle. So we're going to go to the bottom of our circle, count 1 11/0 seed bead, and then the very next one after that is the one we will attach to. So it'll be directly across from the one that we're in on the bottom of the circle. So now we're going to sew to that 11/0 seed bead. So I'm coming out of this one on top here. I'm going to sew down into the 8/0. You can go through the 11/0s if you'd like, or you can just go through the 8/0s until you get to that bead. I'm going to go through the 8/0, and then I'm going to exit that 11/0. Sewing through the 8/0s without going through the 11/0s in most of it until you get to the one that you need to attach to secures the circle. It makes it tighter. So that's why I'm doing that. Now I'm coming out of this bead that I need to attach to. So actually I'm not coming out of the bead I need to attach to. It will always be only one bead in between the beads that you're attaching to. So you're attached here, you're going to skip a bead, and then you're going to go through the next one. So it will always be just one bead in between, so you will know. It gets a little confusing at the very beginning. So here I am, I'm attached to this one, I've skipped this one, I'm coming out of this one. It's actually directly across, if you look at my needle, from the bead that I'm attached to in the bottom of the circle. Now I'm going to pick up 3 11/0 seed beads and go into the opposite side. And secure this connection. And that's what that should look like. I'm going to sew to this bead here, and I will start to make a unit, a circle unit in this bead here, and that will place it down. And then when we attach, we'll attach straight across in the upper half of the unit. This will give us an up and down placement of our units. So let's go into the next side bead here, and then into the 11-0 seed bead. Now we will pick up 6 8-0 seed beads onto our needle. I have 6. I'm going to go into the opposite side, and I'm going to make the same unit I've been making. So I'm going to pull these down, go into the very next 8-0 seed bead next to the 11-0 I'm exiting, and then I will begin picking up 11-0 seed beads and placing them between the 8-0s. So an 11-0 and into the next 8-0, like so. All the way around until we get to the very last one. Give a nice little tug, making sure that your unit is going to be very secure, kind of stiff. When you get to the last one, remember to put it in, skip the 11-0 you're attaching to, go into the 8-0 behind it, like so. And then we will go into the very next 11-0. So it'll always be the 11-0 after the 11-0 we attach to, and we will put on our embellishment. So pick up a 15-0, a bicone crystal, a 15-0, and go directly into the same side of the opposite bead, directly across from it. So now we're going to go into this one right here. And then pick up a 15-0, go back up through the crystal, pick up a 15-0, go through the 11-0 that we started attaching in on the opposite side we started from, and pull tight. And that's what you should have. Now, as you can see, I've got an up-down look here. I want to make my next one up, since this one is down, so I'm going to be in the upper half of this unit. And I am just going to, from the one that I have attached to, I've attached here, I'm just going to skip one and go into the next one. So I am actually right there. All I have to do is go through the 8-0 seed bead and the 11-0 behind it. Get into that 11-0 seed bead. Here, and begin making my next component. Now we're coming out of this 11-0 here, and we need to make a right angle weave unit for our attachment. Excuse me. So let's go into the opposite side of the bead we're coming out of, here, with 3 11-0 seed beads. You back off a little now, and pull these down into a unit of right angle weave. Secure the unit of right angle weave. Once you've sewn all the way around, then of course sew all the way up to the sticking out bead on the top here. So I'm going to go through this side bead and into this top bead. Pick up 6 of your 8-0 seed beads. We will now make another unit, another circle here. So go into the opposite side here and pull. Go into the next 8-0 seed bead right after where you're coming out of your 11-0 and pull your thread. And again, begin placing 11-0 seed beads between each 8-0. Give a nice little tug and secure it. And go all the way around. Just placing your 11-0s. I don't think I'm ever going to stop pulling this out of frame. Sorry, guys. I hope I'm in frame, too. So here we go. 11-0 here. And then, when you put your last one in, always remember to skip the 11-0 that you're attached to. Go into the 8-0 behind it, and exit and pull. That will secure that last unit and place that last 11-0 in the proper spot. Then, you're going to go into the very next 11-0. So you're attached here, you're going to go over one 11-0 and go into it. So we're coming out of the 8-0 here, we'll go into this 11-0 and we will attach our embellishment here. So we need to pick up a 15-0 seed bead, come here, a bicone crystal, a 15-0 seed bead, and we'll go directly across and attach. So from the side you're coming out of, not that side, there we go. I hope you can see well. I seem to be having issues staying in my camera today, so I've backed off some so that I'm not completely out of frame. I'm going to go back up through the crystal. I'll get you close when there's something that isn't completely repetitive that we've already done close up. And then into the opposite side. There we go. Now, if you look at your patterning here, you've got one down, one up, one down, one up. Now, if you turn it the other way, then it's still going to be the same thing. You just want to go directly across from where you're attaching. So, if you want this bead to stay up high, then you need to attach towards the bottom of your unit. If you want the bead to be low, then you attach to the top of the unit. So because I'm making this one low, I'm going to have to sew all the way around, or excuse me, I'm making this one high, this one's low. I have to sew all the way around to this bead. The best way to look at it is just to go directly across from where you're attaching. So I'm attaching here, I'm going to go to the bottom of the unit. I want this one high, I'm going to sew through the bottom. So I'll go through the bottom, go directly across to this 11-0 seed bead. So I need to sew all the way down. Remember, there will only be one 11-0 between where you're going to make your attachment and where you have already attached. So I'll show you that. To sew all the way down to this 11-0 seed bead here, because if you look at my unit, I'm attached to this. I'm attached to this 11-0 here. This is the right angle weave attachment. I'm going to skip one 11-0 and I'm going to go into the next 11-0. It just happens to be on these side ones that you will often have to attach to where you attach your crystal. So here is the one I'm coming out of, right here, and I'm going to make my next unit of right angle weave. And I will secure it. Now from this point, you should be able to discern what I'm doing, and I will show you again. We'll lay it out just to make sure. don't want to get too many instructions going because then it just gets confusing. So this is how you do it. You start with one unit, you attach your first unit to it from the right angle weave unit, right there. Then you will look at it and see that this bead is coming up. So if you know your bead is coming up, then you know you have to attach to the bottom of that unit. If your bead is then coming down, after you've attached to the bottom, the next one will come down. If you know this bead is going to be down, then you know you have to attach your next one to the top of that unit. And all you have to do is make sure that you're skipping 1/11 between the attachments of right angle weave. That will give you a guide where you need to put your next unit of right angle weave. We will continue making these units up, down, until we have 15 units, and then we will be back. Okay, so as you can see, I have made my 15 units. Now this measures exactly 6 inches. So with adding my clasping, that should add another inch, and that it will be right around a 7-inch bracelet. Now, if you have a larger wrist and you'd like to make an 8-inch bracelet, you will do 17 units. If you have a small wrist and you want your finished product to be 6 inches, then you will do 13 units. So no matter how many units you decide to alter for the length, make sure that you end on an odd number. So I have made 15, aiming for a 7-inch bracelet. And I've made my last unit of right angle weave in the spot that I would have put it if I was going to make another unit. So at the top of my unit this time, because this unit is dropped. So I'm coming out of this 11/0 right here. Let's get you a little closer. So I attached my right angle weave unit. I'm coming out this way. I am now going to go into the 8/0 and the 11/0 right underneath that bead I'm exiting, and I'm going to make another unit of right angle weave here. So I'm going to pick up 3 11/0 seed beads, go into the opposite side from which I'm coming out, and pull these down into another unit of right angle weave. Then I'm going to reinforce it, if I can get back in there, by sewing around the entire unit again. Now, when I come through the side bead, so I guess it isn't actually the entire unit, I'm coming around to this side bead right here. I'm going to go into the 8/0 seed bead between the two units. So right here, I'm going to go into this 8/0 and just the 8/0 and exit like so. Pull, and then go up into the side arm of this right angle weave unit. So through the 8/0, up through this 11/0 right here. Okay, so now we are coming out of this 11/0 seed bead right here. We're going to pick up an 8/0 seed bead and drop it down to that 11/0. Now I have taken one end of my clasp and put it on my wire protector. Let me back off so you can see, like so. Now this is difficult to sew through and keep your thread on top of the wire protector this way. If you want to, you're going to add a little length doing this, but you can sew your wire protector on and then add a jump ring and your clasp. I think that's a weak way to do it because unless you have a really strong jump ring, it can open. So I'm going to try to just sew through the wire protector while it's through my clasping and get it connected. So I'm going to go through one end and try to hold this very steady. See if I can do this. And I'm going to go through one end of my wire protector. And with the magnetic clasp, everything sticks to it. So it's not very easy. So I'm going to go through this end right here and pull my thread through. Then I'm going to go through the clasp and pull my thread through. Try to guide it into the divot of my wire protector while pulling it closer to my piece. and then go back through the other end of the wire protector, like so. I'm guiding it with my fingernail, hoping it'll go into, yes it did. It went into the wire protector very well. Now you can see this is what I have. Let me move it over a little and get you in a little closer. Now I can go into my 8/0 seed bead right here, trying not to disturb what I've just done too much, and I'll just pull it through. Once you get that first thread through, then it's not so bad. It's just getting the first thread through. Now I have to go into the other side of the 11/0 here. So I'm coming out and attaching to this right angle weave unit in this side arm. I'm going to go over to the other side arm of the other right angle weave unit and go through it right here. I'm going to pick it up and just hold on to it gently so I can guide my thread and pull my clasp down to my piece. Now I'm going to just gently squeeze my wire protector closed a little bit because I had to open it in order to get my clasp through it. So now I've closed it a little bit and I'm coming out of this 11/0 seed bead. I'm going to go down into this 8/0 here between the two original units of right angle weave in the circle unit, and then back up into the side arm here of this unit of right angle weave. See if I can get in there. Right there. Then I will go back up into the 8/0 seed bead. Let me back off so I'm not out of camera. And sew back through my wire protector here. And again, I have to go through my clasp, and then I have to guide my thread down into that divot. So let me get my hands arranged just right. The first thread is harder than the second thread. You should be able to get the second thread in there pretty easily, like so. And then go down into this side of the wire protector and pull very carefully, trying to guide that thread into the wire protector, like so. I hope you could see me. I'm having a hard time staying in camera today. Then I'm going to go down into this 11/0 seed bead here. And now I'm going to go into this 8/0 seed bead here and the 11/0 behind it. Now, this is what you should have. If you put a lobster claw on, you'll do exactly the same thing. Just slide it on your wire protector and then sew through it just like I just did. If you're using a closed jump ring on this end, then you can do that too. If you're using an open jump ring, then of course you can just put the wire protector on and then put the jump ring on, but on the other side you'll have to put your lobster claw. So either way, you're still going to have to sew through it like I did. So just do it slowly and patiently. Unless you do not want to use a wire protector and you just sew through your clasping, you can do that too. Okay, so now I'm coming out of this 11/0 seed bead here. I'm going to sew into the 8/0 behind it and the 11/0 behind it. So let me get it unblurry here, right there. And I'm going to exit there and pull my thread through. And this is where we will begin our embellishments. Okay, so to begin our embellishments, we are coming out of this 11/0 seed bead right on top of the unit with the crystal, the one that the crystal is attached to, actually, that 11/0. Now we're going to pick up one clear crystal and we're going to skip this 8/0, this right angle weave unit, this 8/0, and go into this 11/0 on the next unit. So the first 11/0 on the next unit, you're going to go through it, the 8/0 behind it, and the 11-0 behind the 8-0. And pull this one crystal down, like so. Now, you're coming out of this 11-0 here. You are going to go through the next 8-0. Let me see if I can pick this up. Go through the next 8-0 and the next 11-0. Should have probably slid through them when I was in them, but it's okay. So now what I've done is put my crystal on, gone through an 11-0, an 8-0, an 11-0, an 8-0, and an 11-0. So it will be the first 11-0 before your right angle unit here. So now we are going to pick up 2 bicone crystals this time. And we are going to go from this 11-0 into the next 11-0 on center on the next unit. So you're going to skip this 8-0, the right angle weave unit, this 8-0, and go into the center 11-0 on the next unit with 2 crystals. Like so. And that's what that should look like. Let me back off just a little. Now we are going to, we're coming out of this 11-0 here. We're going to pick up 1 seed, or not seed bead, 1 crystal. And we're going to skip this 8-0, skip the right angle weave unit, skip the 8-0 on the next unit, and go into the first 11-0 on the next unit. You can also go through the 8-0 and 11-0 behind it and pull. Then go through the next 8-0 and 11-0 on that unit. Family interruption, sorry. Now we're coming through the next 8-0 and 11-0. We're going to pull through. So all you have to make sure is that you are in the last 11-0 before your right angle weave unit to do your embellishments. So now that we've put in 1 crystal here, pull them tight, make sure that they're nice and neat. We'll put in 2 crystals. So it'll be 1, 2, 1. Now we're coming out of this 11-0, we're going to go into the 11-0 center on the next unit. Then we will pick up 1 crystal and we will go into the first 11-0 on the next unit, and you can go into the 8-0 and the 11-0 behind it, straighten everything out, and then go into the next 8-0 and 11-0 behind that. So let's get you closer. I'm coming out of the center 11-0. I'm going to go down into the next 8-0 and the next 11-0. And now I'm ready for 2 bicone crystals. And we're going to continue doing this the entire length. So I'll pick up 2. And I will skip over the 8-0, the right angle weave unit, the 8-0, and go into the center 11-0. Pick up 1 crystal and skip over the 8-0, the right angle weave unit, and go into this 11-0 here. Really getting off center today. I really apologize. And then again, we'll sew through this 8-0, this 11-0, this 8-0, and come into this 11-0 and do the same thing. Since we just put in 1 crystal, we'll put in 2, and then when we're coming out of the center unit here, we'll put in 1 and continue that pattern to the end of the bracelet, and we'll be back. Okay, so as you can see, I've done all my embellishments with the last one. Now on this end we started with 1, but if we're going in our order of 2, then 1, or 1, then 2, then 1, then 2, all the way across here, then we will need to put 2 in our last one. So we're going to pick up 2 crystals. I'm coming out of this 11-0 seed bead after sewing through the 11-0, the 8-0, the 11-0, the 8-0, and then the next 11-0, just like we have been doing. And I'm going to pick up 2 of my crystals, and I am going to go into the middle 11-0 on this unit right here, right above my crystal embellishment. Let's see. Yep, that's the one I want. And pull this down. Make sure your entire embellishment as you pull it through is nice and tight. Everything looks good. You don't have any kind of slack or anything that's really tight pulling it to where it looks funny. Just make sure the entire embellishment looks really good. Straighten it out. And now we're coming out of the 11-0 seed bead on top here. So let's get close. And we are going to sew all the way over to this 11-0 seed bead right here, the one where my tail is coming out. So I've got a unit on this one. I'm going to go through the 8-0, the 11-0 that the unit is on right here. Then I'm going to go through the 8-0 behind that one and into the 11-0 behind the 8-0 right there. I'm going to cut this tail down, and then I am going to make another unit of right angle weave. So I will pick up 3 11-0 seed beads onto my needle and just go into the opposite side. Then I will sew around this unit. Oh, it is up with my camera today. I just can't get it right. I really apologize. I will sew around this entire unit. And then when I come to the middle arm of the unit, well, let me go around the entire unit and do that again, just because it's pulling out of shape. If it does that, just go all the way around and then go back through the unit again until you come to the inside side arm here. I'm coming through this one here. Then I'm going to go into the 8-0 seed bead. And then I'm going to come up through this side arm here. Then I will pick up an 8-0 and drop it down to that 11-0 and do exactly as I did on the other side to attach my clasp. So if you need to back up the video and watch that again, that's fine. Go ahead and attach your clasping, and when you're done, we'll be back. So as you can see, I have put my clasping on this end, and I am coming out of this middle arm right here after reinforcing. Coming out of the middle here, I'm going to go up into the one that I'm connected to, this 11-0 right here. And now I'm going to back off a little bit here and sew up into this middle seed bead in the unit. So I'm going to go through this 8-0 and this 11-0 right here. And then I'm going to go through the next 8-0 and next 11-0 here. And here is where we will start our crystal embellishments again. This side we started with 2. On this side we're going to start with 1. So it'll be 1, then 2, then 1, then 2, instead of the other way around. So now we're going to pick up 1, and we're going to go into, we're going to skip this 8-0, the right angle weave unit, this 8-0, and go into this 11-0 central on the unit that's embellished. So go into this 11-0 here, just like we were doing before, and pull. Now it wants to curve it up, so just make it kind of straight, make sure there's no slack, lay it in there nice and neat, and then pick up 2 crystals. And here is where we will go into the 11-0 closest to the unit of right angle weave in the next unit. So right here, the very first 11-0 there, after the right angle weave connection, and pull 2 crystals through. Try not to wrap it around your piece. And pull 2 crystals through. Make it nice and neat. And this is where we sew through the top of the unit. So we sew through this 8-0, this 11-0, this 8-0, and then exit this 11-0. So we'll sew through the top of this unit. You really can't get all 4 of them at once. That's why I split it into 2. It's just at a funny angle. Now, pull your thread tight, make sure that your embellishments are going on nicely, and continue. We just put in 2, so this time we're going to put in 1. So we're going to go from this 11-0 to this 11-0. Don't let it twist. If it does, untangle it. And then pick up 2 and go into the 11-0 closest to the right angle unit here. So skip the right angle unit, skip this 8-0, and go into this one right here. And continue. So through the top of this unit and begin again using your 1 crystal, then 2. 1 crystal, then 2. And continue all the way down. And you can see what the pattern's starting to look like. It's quite pretty. So continue that. And we'll be back. Okay, so as you can see, I have done this entire side. I am now going to put in my last embellishment. So I'm on my last unit here. I put in my 1 crystal. Now I'm going to put in my 2. I'm coming out of the center of this unit here. Pick up my 2 crystals. And I am going to go into this 11-0 here, the first one after my right angle weave connection, and through the 8-0 behind it, and then sew through the 11-0 and 8-0 behind that. There. Now at this point, you can see my mess. I spilled my little dish of my little mat with the slots in it. I spilled it. I've been having a difficult time today. Yep. Anyway, so now let's get closer. You want to stretch out all of the bracelet. Actually, I don't want to be that close. Sorry, guys. I'm just a little loopy. Okay, so I want to stretch it all out. Make sure that I'm not losing any of my length. However, you want to make sure there's no slack. You can't see any thread under those crystals there. But you don't want them bunched either. So this is the point where you arrange everything before you tie it off. Make sure it looks good and get you close. Let you see what the units are supposed to look like. If I can not blur it. Boy, I'm having camera difficulties today. This is what the units should look like. They just should kind of swirl in and out of each other. And then I'm coming out of this one right here. This 8-0, right before my attachment for all of my clasping here. I'm going to see if I can sew through these 3 beads that my clasping is on right here. And then I am going to pull a knot right here. So I'm going to go between this 11-0 and 8-0. I'm going to try to do this very carefully. Actually, I think I'll go between these 2 11-0s right here. I think this is going to be an easier spot. So let's get you close so you can see right there. And then I am going to push my needle through there, make a loop, go through the loop, and very gently pull until I'm right between those beads. Guide it if you need to, and then sew around this unit of right angle weave until I'm coming back out of that bottom bead again so I can sew into my units, my circular units. I'm going to go into this side one here. And then I'm going to go, get me arranged, into this one here, and into the 8-0 behind it. I also went through the 11-0 in the crystal, which is fine. I'll go through this 11-0 here. You back off. See if I can get through there. My needle is bent, so I'm having a time with it here. Of course, this whole project I've had a time, and it's a simple project, so ask me why, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not in the bead vibe, I don't know. The bead zone. Okay, so I'm going to tie one more knot here between these two beads. Go out between. I'm going to have to guide my thread, so I'm going to just pull it and guide it like so. I hope you can see because I can't stay in camera today. There we go. Oh, hope you guys put up with me because my goodness, I am just a mess today. I'm going to turn it over now and I'm going to cut this thread down and end this project before I pull my hair out. How does that sound? Some projects are just like that. I don't know why. Okay, now I'm going to burn this down, melt it in. Aha, I made it and I'm alive. Okay, now get my mess that I spilled everywhere out of the way so you guys can't see it, so you don't know that it exists. Haha. And this is what it looks like on my wrist. Here is my clasping, like so. And this is exactly a 7-inch bracelet. I could have used just a tiny bit more room. Probably not. I like the fact that it's tighter in this style because I just think that it looks better. I made one earlier that I ended up with 8 inches and it's just too big for my wrist. It falls in. And so this time I wanted to make it to where it was smaller. So what I want to show you with this one is that I used different clasping. I used a closed jump ring and I put it through the wire guardian and I put a jump ring and then the lobster clasp on this end, which added more length. If I had just put the lobster claw clasp on the wire guardian, it wouldn't have added so much more length, but it did. So that's how that looks with that kind of clasping, and this is how it looks with this kind of clasping. They're both very pretty. Same exact thing. It's just different clasping and a little bit different length because, like I said, this one was just way too big for my wrist. This one fits better. And perhaps if I had put maybe 2 8/0s on either side or 3 and come up through, that would give me just a tiny bit more length. But this is fine. I think that it'll work really well. It does have enough movement, so it'll work. But anyway, that's what that looks like. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks for putting up with me. See you next time. Maybe I'll have my brain in one piece. Bye-bye.